Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 553 of Film Bastards. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I'm joined by...
Becky Foster, hello everybody.
I'm Matt Foster, hello everybody.
Hello everyone, hope you are all well. Okay, so it is 4 days since we last recorded, but schedules dictate, nay, demand that we record. But... yeah, I've got a couple of you've got a couple of big reviews this week. Yeah. So we've got the first blockbuster of the kind of autumnal period, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Don't say it again. And we're also going to be covering Jeremy Saulnier's first film in fucking years. Hold the Dark feels like that was a long time ago now. Yeah, but this is the Aaron Pierre starring Rebel Ridge. We'll also, there's at least one trailer to talk of that I'm aware of, and some what we've been up to. I've got a feeling it might be a shorter episode, but that's fine. No Alan Wake yet. I started playing it the other day, then the dog barked at something at like 10:30 at night and scared the shit out of me. So that got put down, but yes, and Becky hasn't started yet, so we will have a look at that next time round. We are a Pod Syndicate podcast. Please do listen to like-minded shows such as Chin Striker vs Punter, The Rewatch Project, The Good Bad, The Odd, Entertainment Landfill, etc. And I believe that'll do it. So, like I said, there's one trailer that I'm aware of. Do we have any others?
I've got a couple, actually, yeah. So, okay. But we hadn't watched the Minecraft trailer last time, had we?
No.
Have you watched it?
Oh, yeah, you guys hadn't. That's right, yeah.
No.
I've watched it. I have a couple of questions, because, Ian, you might know the answer to these. One, I actually don't think it looks that... I mean, visually, it's ugly as fuck.
Yes.
But I was kind of like, do you know what? I'm alright with it. If I get to see this before, like, if I can go to a before 11 a.m. screening, I think I'll be alright with this. Like, I think I can have enough fun with it. If this is under 100 minutes and it is before 11 a.m, I'm alright with it. But, Ian, who's Steve?
So Steve is basically the kind of generic hero character of Minecraft. Like the image of Steve is the one that you'll see in any kind of like Minecraft marketing and whatnot.
Right. I think I get who you mean, yeah.
Yeah, like green shirt, blocky dude. So yeah, when he says, I am Steve, and it's leaving that, it is... yeah, because like Lottie watched it and was just like, oh, so...
yeah, whereas I watched it and went, what?
yeah, kind of had the reaction that they actually have in the trailer.
Yeah,
totally.
Very much that. Right, so what have we got?
Right, so we've talked about the Wicked trailer previously, haven't we?
Yeah.
I don't know whether we've necessarily addressed the fact that you are really fucking confused by the concept of this, are you?
Yeah, not a fucking clue.
So, we saw a new trailer, didn't we, when we went to see Beetlejuice Beetlejuice?
Yes.
And you asked the same question you ask every time.
I genuinely am not doing that on purpose. I keep forgetting, I think.
So who are they then? Fuck's sake, Mark. Every fucking time. The Wicked Witch and fucking Glinda. How can you not get that through your head? But she's not mean. Okay.
I don't, for some reason, the whole, like, thing of Wicked, it's a little bit like the Hunger Games prequel for me. Like, I know Wicked existed for a lot longer than Hunger Games, but it's because it's been a book and a play. Is it a book then a play? Musical?
Yeah.
And then, but I still don't get it.
It's an origin story.
Why? I mean, that's an open-ended why. It's not like a real why.
Because everyone that's evil starts somewhere. Not people aren't born evil.
I like the idea. I like the mystique. But I don't get it. But Do you know what? With that, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it, but I am intrigued by it. I'm also liking the fact that despite the fact that it is literally a Broadway musical, the trailer is doing everything it can to protect you from thinking that it's a musical.
I don't get why though. Like some of the biggest festive movies are musicals. People like shit like that at that time of year.
In the
That and
Heights.
Christmas, done it. In the Heights was shit though.
Yeah, but I just do think everyone's scared of them since that.
But look at fucking Greatest Showman.
Yeah, but that's slow burner.
Not that slow though. Like once people started going, you know what, this fucking movie's actually quite good. It exploded.
Oh yeah. I just think they always do it in musicals.
I mean, I get it if you're releasing a shit musical, which makes me concerned. My worry is I really liked the book, and it's not based on the book; it's based on the musical. And I just don't know whether I need that in my life. I might just reread the book.
There. Ian, is the one that you were talking about a documentary?
No, but I forgot about that.
Right. So is yours the teaser for Wolfman?
Yes.
Right. I trust Lee Whannell. I think this is a crap trailer.
It's a bad trailer.
So thank you. God, I think it was just me. It's a really bad trailer. Like, if you're going to have an effect that is essentially the words getting scratched into the screen,
You can't get bored of it.
you can't halfway through go, oh fucking hell.
Just put the rest of it on.
How are we gonna do the O? Just fuck. Just put the rest of it up, and it looks a bit dirgy.
Sure. Yeah.
I think werewolf movies are difficult.
They're hard to
get
pull
right.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's not very many that I like.
I have a problem in the fact that I can't get Wolfman. I can't get out of my head that time where we went to see. What band was it?
Was it Wolf and Mother?
No, it wasn't. I can't remember what fucking band it was. But Wolfman, the singer, who had about 4 songs out in the mid-noughties, was playing, and Pete Doherty was stood relatively near us and just kept shouting out, Wolfman! Every, literally, a couple of seconds. Anytime there was, what is it? And he found it fucking hilarious. And the problem is, everybody else did. So this poor guy, who literally, I'm fairly certain Pete Doherty, guested on a couple of his songs, just couldn't, what is it? Because the entire audience by this point was just shouting Wolfman at him. But now I can't get that out of my head.
Fair.
I don't think he was being a dick, by the way, Pete Doherty. I think he was literally just being supportive of his mate, but it was also Pete Doherty.
He was a dick in general, though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's like now. Probably fat.
He is. Yeah.
That's what cleaning yourself up will do.
No, apparently he's not clean. He just lives on a farm in France.
Oh, so he's not cleaned himself up.
He's not as dependent
Moved
on
to
drugs
wine.
as he used to be.
Moved
Is
to
what
wine
it is.
country, and he's just got fucking brandoed.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep.
I actually respect that more.
Couple of other ones that we've got. Caddo Lake.
I think this looks quite interesting.
Atmospheric, on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
I like
this?
Brian, though.
It's Dylan O'Brien and
Eliza Scanlon.
Eliza Scanlon, who remember her from 4 years ago when she was the next big thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems to be there's a kid goes missing on this lake, but it's like a bio in it.
Yeah. Real swamp trash kind of vibe.
But then he starts fucking seeing shit, doesn't he?
Well, I think from the trailer, it seems like it's showing you his actions mirroring her actions.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming she's the one that's gone missing.
Yeah.
So he's sort of following in her footsteps, trying to work out what's happened.
but it looks the trailer's atmospheric. The trailer's really atmospheric, and the fact that Dylan O'Brien doesn't say a single fucking thing in the trailer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually watched it and thought, do you know what? I think it's because we watched it straight after The Wolfman, and it was like, all right, that's actually a trailer.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. If you want to make a teaser, you want it to be. The thing is, you can't get much across in a teaser, but you want to grab people and make them want to see the trailer, which you want to make them want to see the fucking film.
My thing there is, if you can do a teaser, it needs to tease people.
Yeah.
And Wolfman was kind of like halfway to be a teaser and halfway to be a trailer, and so it was neither of both. We also watched a trailer for an anime film called Trapezium, didn't we?
It's really fucking confused you, didn't it?
I'm just sort of turning up and going, what's going on?
I think if you're gonna have any kind of vague idea of what's going on, you have to have a bit of an idea of like what the Asian pop scene is like, and you don't.
Not a clue. Not a clue. So it seems like this girl accidentally is trying to make a super group of
not
idols.
Accidentally, she wants to. That's her plan.
All right, that's a place to make a super group
Yeah.
of these idol singers.
Yeah, so like these groups in Japan, like your Blackpink and your BTS and stuff like that, they're kind of manufactured by the record companies.
I'm pretty sure you've just described two porn genres.
Are manufactured by record companies, so they just audition people and put them together. It's like Spice Girls shit, and but it's really like it's a big thing, and like they refer to them as like idols and idol groups and stuff like that. But like Perfect Blue, so it's been going on for a long time.
Fair.
So, but I think if you don't really have any concept of that,
Just confused me.
it really did confuse you.
Finished just took a message and went, the fuck was that?
It was funny though.
Maybe we should go and see it.
I think we should.
Nickel Boys.
Oh fuck! I didn't watch this either. Yeah, this got some really really good word out of Telluride.
Yeah, it's
Really fucking earnest, Ian.
just what people
yeah.
need to understand though. It is not the Nickelback origin story. But it all seems to be shot from. It looks like it's all shot from first person perspective, but then it's also not, because one of the shots is like just behind the guy's head.
I think it looks really interesting. It does very much look like a big old plate of vegetables, though.
Yeah, it does.
And sometimes they're good for you.
But sometimes vegetables are good for you. My only issue is when a trailer is filled with the most important American movie in decades and America's new great modern classic, and all of these quotes are from either publications or websites that most people have never heard of. It always makes me go a little bit like, have you Coppola'd that?
Maybe.
But yeah, I'm sure it's very, very good, but I'm also sure it's very, very broccoli.
Have some candy first, watch Wicked, and then watch it.
Yeah. And then the one that I think we've all watched, it was Will and Harper.
Yeah.
What do you think, Cecile?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it'll be interesting. It'd be cool if the fact that it's Will Ferrell gets more eyeballs on it. Yeah. Again, like you were just saying with the Nickel Boys there, I felt like there were some quotes in the trailer for this that were a bit like, oh, fucking hell, mate, chill out. But, I don't know, it's an emotive subject. If Will Ferrell's going to help be a bit of a bridge to people maybe understanding transgender issues a bit more, sure, why not?
That's it. It's going to be fun, I think, to just see Will Ferrell, because just kind of get to be a bit funny, but also not have to be a character.
Sure,
Do you
yeah.
think he's got it in him, though, to not be Will Ferrell?
I think whenever you see sort of bits where he is just Will Ferrell, he is a generally funny guy without him having to be Robin Williams or Jim Carrey always on. He is just generally a bit of a funny guy. But yeah, this looks. It looks like it could be a bit of an interesting watch, but it also could be a bit like, I'm not sure if the people that you want to watch this are actually going to bother watching it.
I'd love to know the motivation behind it and where the idea behind it came from. Because if it's Will Ferrell, then I have concerns. Because he can be a bit me.
I think.
But then I'm speaking from a place of just really not liking Will Ferrell, so maybe just ignore everything I fucking say.
Yeah, I think I'm intrigued by it. I'll say.
Nice.
New trailer from Megalopolis as well.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
I just want to gather it all up and I want to shove it into my fucking brain.
I'm getting to the point, right, with it where I just want it to be out so I can have seen it, so that Francis Ford Coppola can stop trying to convince me to not go and fucking see it.
Right, it's a great trailer.
Trailer, great, but he needs to shut the fuck up.
Oh, I haven't listened to anything he said.
Like, he just... The more he says, the more I go, do you know what? I want to watch your movie, Franny. Stop talking. Stop releasing ego trip trailers that turn out aren't even real. There's plenty of mean things that people said about your movies that were real.
Yeah, but that's not what this is.
No, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
As a holistic thing.
Yeah.
And I purposefully cast people that have been cancelled because I just I don't want that. And I'm like, mate, have you seen how many movies John Voight's been in the past few years? Bro ain't cancelled.
Adam Driver's not being cancelled. Aubrey Plaza's not being cancelled.
No, I think he just meant like
John
Voight, and there's a couple, and Dustin Hoffman.
Is Dustin Hoffman being cancelled?
He was part of like the first wave of cancellations.
Okay.
I think he's kind of just taken it as an opportunity to retire a little bit.
Fair.
More than be cancelled. And he's still in stuff. He's just not as Hoffmaning around like he used to.
Fair.
He's not as Hoffmaning around.
Yeah.
Oh, the Beef
Interesting.
as well. The Beef's being cancelled, hasn't it?
Well, the Beef just goes to fucking Scotland and just starts fights, doesn't he now?
He's a dickhead, isn't he?
I mean, yeah. And the thing is, apparently, he's still like fucking clean and sober. So what? It wasn't the booze then. You're just a dick.
Yeah.
And also as well, Shire, don't go to Glasgow and start a fight outside a pub. You are going to get... Literally, it was other patrons, other Scottish people going, mate, stop it. They will... You will not come out of this all right. It was like... Other patrons saved Shia LaBeouf from getting his ass handed to him.
Fair.
Yep.
He just needs some sort of like outlet, even if he is sober. Then just to be a dick.
Yeah, it would appear so. What someone should just do is go, Shia, have you ever heard of Lego? There you go.
Yeah.
Just give him a hobby.
Just imagine it and go, right, if this Millennium Falcon, if you can't put it together, do you know what you do? Just fucking smash it to bits, mate. You've got loads of money. You'll just be able to buy another one. But just whatever you do, don't go out and start fighting a Scottish street. It will not end well for you. But yeah, that's it. Tris, what else did we get? It was Wicked, Megalopolis. I can't remember what else there was. It was Joker, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, Cineworld update. Cineworld have finally stopped welcoming you back.
Oh, great.
COVID, yeah.
Yeah. In the past few weeks, they're like, do you know what? We think you've been back a while.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. God, that took too long.
That took weird. Literally, it was like a couple of weeks ago it stopped.
We had a 12A trailer for The Substance, which basically had fuck all in it. It was only about 30 seconds long. And then immediately after, the trailer for Paddington in Peru.
Oh, yeah, we had the Paddington in Peru one as well.
Literally could not give less of a fuck about that movie. They've left it too long.
It does.
So, who cares about fucking Paddington?
I mean, a lot of people do, but not like Paul King's not back to direct. They're off on like a holiday adventure thing.
Oh, is it not Paul King doing it?
No, because he did Wonka, didn't he? So
yeah.
Too busy. I'm a little wary about it, to be honest. But hey, we'll see.
Who is directing it then? It's not Andy Serkis, is it? Because he seems to randomly end up directing things like this.
No.
Dougal Wilson. That's a made-up name.
That does sound like a little bit name.
What's old Doog's done before then?
This is his first feature film.
Great.
He directed the video to Year 3000 by Busted. Music video director.
Music video director.
Yeah.
Right, okay. We'll see. Okay. Let's do it. Beetlejuice. Directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, Jenna Ortega, Justin Theroux, Willem Dafoe, Monica Bellucci, and Danny DeVito. That was fun. So, after a family tragedy, 3 generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life is turned upside down when her teenage daughter Astrid accidentally opens the portal to the afterlife. Yeah, I suppose so. Even though like that happens like an hour in.
Yeah.
Isn't really the kind of like the event that kicks things off, but yeah, here we go then. So Beetlejuice. It's the first autumnal blockbuster. Bex, what do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird one in the run-up because I was looking forward to it because Beetlejuice, and I was a bit dubious about it because Jenna Ortega, and she does tend to have a bit of a vibe about her in stuff where she's good in stuff, but she has this air of, oh, I know I'm good. I'm too good really to be here, and it's unpleasant to watch. But she doesn't really have that in this, so it was quite refreshing. She was just good in this without being too good. I've seen a lot of comments online about, you know, the classic "this has ruined my childhood" bullshit that you get when anything gets a late sequel. But it's very much in the vein of the first one. It's silly. It's got some fun effects. A lot of it's practical, which is also refreshing. I don't know that I love how much Winona Ryder seems to be morphing just into another Helena Bonham Carter. That's a bit gross.
This is the first time I've seen her in a while.
Yeah, well, she's not in general, and then she works with Tim Burton, and suddenly she's a bit.
She's just very much the character that
No,
he
but-
thinks, isn't she?
But then that's a bit. Yeah, that's what I don't like about it. Like, she wouldn't necessarily just have the same hair and wear the same shit that she wore when she was a little goth girl. Like, they could have done grown-up goth.
Yeah.
So that was a bit weird because she does have a bit of a. Winona Ryder's got very much a distinctive Winona Ryder-ness to her. So then when you pair that with making her look like she looked in a character when she was younger, it just feels a little bit just weird. Like, it's weird. There's a bit of an uncanny valley kind of situation going on. It looks like AI in real life. Whereas I think if she just has that naturally, whatever role she's playing. But
Like she's humanly de-aged herself.
Yeah. But when she dresses like a grown-up and she has that Winona Ryder-ness, it doesn't feel as weird. Yeah, I love the shit that they did with Charles as a character. Love that. How to fucking write someone out of your movie without writing them out as a character. Give them no head.
It's like, it's so conspicuous as well, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, I went with Don and a friend of ours, and after the friend was like, she was like, so is the dad dead in real life then? Like, that was, like, why did they do all of that?
No, just a weird, creepy creeper.
No, just a fucking convicted paedophile, that's all, you know. Yeah, odd. But it was cool though, like the stop motion, it was like, yeah, go on then, or whatever, that like kind of stop motion-esque stuff. It was like, fuck it, go on then.
Yeah, I really liked it, to be honest. I think it's fun enough to kind of follow up the other one. I think sometimes films that people love get imbued with a gravity they don't actually have. And then people get all, oh my god, ruined my childhood. And it's like, now, have you watched the other one recently with like clear eyes? Or have you just kind of made it into a different thing in your head? Because obviously it's great, but it's not deep.
No, Beetlejuice is an incredibly fun movie. But I think it's one of those where if you first watched it in like your 30s, you might not have the same... If you first watched it 3 years ago as a grown-up, you might not have the same fondness for it as if you grew up with it.
Yeah. I like the fact that they haven't obviously amped up the amount of time Beetlejuice is on screen.
I'm pretty sure that I saw an interview with Matt Keaton and he was insistent that it not be about him, that he not be in it anymore. And that Tim Burton basically said that to the percentage of screen time Beetlejuice has to the run time is pretty much exactly the same as Beetlejuice.
Yeah. And I saw someone complaining about, oh, we didn't need the stupid teen romance stuff. That's like an inciting incident. Yes, it does. Does need that. Otherwise, she doesn't end up in the afterlife.
My bit there would be for you would be, no, you don't need it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I have some sympathy for that point of view, just in terms of it's so perfunctory, like the way that gets wrapped up. And to be honest, the way a couple of the plots get wrapped up, it is just like Burton's just like, fuck it, can't be arsed. And it feels like the Monica Bellucci stuff and that stuff are, as you kind of just said there, it is like means to an end. It's like a way of getting the plot kicking off and getting her in the afterlife, getting Beetlejuice like involved in the action.
I actually feel like, though, that the Monica Bellucci side plot is completely superfluous. It doesn't connect to the main storyline at all. At all.
No.
But
No, you've got that one
Monica
sequence.
Bellucci wandering around looking like Monica Bellucci, and I don't necessarily think that it's a loss.
No, and she kills Bob. Absolute dickhead.
Aww.
Yeah.
Poor Bob.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, we were really sad about that.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, like I wanted her to have a more horrible end because she killed Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
Mark, what do you think?
The thing is about Beetlejuice, I would say Beetlejuice is probably up there in the 5 films that I have watched the most in my life.
Yeah.
Just because I had it on a VHS when I was a kid and watched it an awful lot. Mainly because it's short and it's a really fun fucking movie. And I've continued to watch it as an adult. We've watched it like a couple of times at the cinema now, haven't we? Yeah. It's very silly. There's more, weirdly, there's kind of somehow more kind of plot in this than I was expecting.
Yeah.
But then there's also not that much plot to it either. I'll be honest.
Too much and too little plot.
A lot of people are saying about certain characters that they don't feel the film needed, and they're always different to the character that I don't think the film needed. So, like people have said, you know, that the Monica Bellucci character didn't really feel needed, that the teen romance thing didn't really feel needed. I just think that Rory, the Louis Theroux, that would be a different film, wouldn't it? The Justin Theroux movie, Justin Theroux character. I didn't feel that it kind of really needed that extra
Justin Theroux,
bit, there. Even though he's funny in it, but I think sometimes, I do think this in general, when Justin Theroux does comedy, sometimes he's a little bit too nod wink, a little bit, which is saying something for a movie like Beetlejuice. But yeah, Bob, I'll be honest, Bob acting as a decoy for Beetlejuice, but still having a name tag that says "Hello, my name is Bob" is the great sight gags that you get, and you used to get quite a lot in Burton movies. So it's there, and if you pick up on it and you find it amusing, great. But if you don't, it doesn't matter. And that was a great little sight gag that was in there, and it feels like a film that is having an awful lot of fun. The fact that not Lydia Dietz, Delia Dietz is now a massive superstar artist, and that is because Burton has said, Catherine Harris has said, her stuff is now shit enough to be popular. And then things like having the sculpture outside the school from the first film. That is how you do a nice little Easter egg in a movie. Don't overblow it or anything like that. Don't pan out from it.
Just have it there.
Just have it there. Was a good amount of fun. There was a really odd bit where, you know, the funeral, when we first get to the funeral, the wake at the house. The piece of music that's playing, I was like, oh, this is a nice nod back to, wait a minute, this is from Heathers. Not from Beetlejuice. Was just weird. It was that particular piece of music. I had a great time with it. It's silly. Willem Dafoe looks like he's having a fucking great time. Bern Gorman is just perfect casting in this movie. Don't even matter what he's playing. He's got the right face for this movie.
He does,
Arthur Conte, I just found out, is Tom Conte's grandson. I thought he was actually really quite good, and you could see how she could be kind of taken in by him being really fucking charming.
Is that the... Yeah, he was good.
And Jenna Ortega's good. I know that there's this whole swathe of people that don't like her because she's good. And she kind of has an air of the fact that she knows it. But she is good. What did you think, Ian? Because I had a fucking great... and Keaton is not fucking sleepwalking through it. He is not paychecking it. He is... I'm into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was cracking. I had a good amount of fun with it. It, like I said, like I feel like it's maybe just got too much in it at points.
Yeah.
But there's a kind of a joy and a silliness to it, like fuck it, Keaton's going to do the exposition just in an Italian dubbed voice for 5 minutes for no reason whatsoever. Fuck it, why not?
That was great.
You know, the end of the film when you've got the fucking Pino Donaggio's music from Carrie playing. So it's like, for anybody who knows that, it's like, right, something's going to happen here. And so it does. It's got... And it does that great kind of classic Burton thing of like being creepy and being a little bit scary, but not mean-spirited in the fucking slightest. It's spooky, you know, and at points. I thought Ortega like fit very well, and Catherine O'Hara I thought was great.
Yeah.
She's really, really just the whole fucking like the getting those asps, and it's like they're defanged, and then they just kill the killer straight away, and it's just fucking funny. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the reviews have been quite sniffy. There's been like quite a lot of 2 and 3 star around, and I'm just a bit, but it is more Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what this film is, you know. So if that's not what you were coming to the sequel to Beetlejuice for, I don't really know what to tell you. And yeah, I mean, the boyfriend stuff, that like the romantic interest stuff, I am still a bit like, yeah, all right, it gets her to the afterlife, but it feels like if that relationship just had a couple of more scenes, maybe that would have helped. And the same with Monica Bellucci, to be fair. If she had a run-in with Beetlejuice before that final confrontation, where they must only say like 3 or 4 lines to each other and then she's dispatched.
Yeah, I did expect there to be a little bit more to her.
Yeah, this film could be 10 minutes shorter or 10 minutes longer, and I think either one would probably be better, but at the same time I still had a fun Friday night at the cinema with this.
Yeah.
I think my issue with it is there's too many threads that they never fully
there are.
explore all of them.
Yeah, but you've also got Beetlejuice running a call centre where every single member of the call centre team has their mouth sewn shut.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I fucking loved it.
It's great.
But my issue from a plot point of view, if they'd stuck with one of them instead of having all of the plot points that they thought would be fun, they could have maybe actually seen one through.
I just like the fact that those guys are still running around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that never gets resolved, does it?
No.
That's a good point. But I mean, like, it's almost like the slightly slapdash nature of it just kind of feels in keeping.
Yeah, I think that's what's probably put people off. I think a little bit is because it's, I think you said, Ian, it's so silly and it's so flimsy, and it's not. There's no profound meaning to the end of it or anything like that. It's just.
The thing is, they could have easily split this up. They could have had this one as Lydia having to go back to Beetlejuice for help to get, God, what's her name? Astrid back because of the boy ghost. Then the next one could have been Beetlejuice having to come to Lydia for help because of Monica Bellucci's character. And they could have split that up and explored both of those story threads properly.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, and that would have made a great sequel.
Yeah, but I'm still fine with this because I had a really good time with it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. But what I'm saying is, I would like to see that Monica Bellucci as Beetlejuice's ex-wife story.
Yeah. And
her chasing after him explored more. I want to see how that plays out, given more time to breathe.
Yeah.
And whereas it's done now, they've shot their load with it, so to speak.
Yeah, I can see the point on that. It is a little bit. There's a few too many threads, and all of them feel a little bit undercut.
And that one just feels like a bit of a wasted opportunity.
But you've also got just insane silliness going on.
Yeah, which I love.
Yeah,
the zaniness is, a balm to the soul.
Yeah.
When everything has to fucking mean something. And this is just there going, nah, fuck that shit.
Willem Dafoe saying, now you can have a selfie, posing, nobody taking a selfie, and them just nodding, and then just carrying on talking. It's just great. Everybody just seemed like they're having a good time.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that's quite nice.
Yeah, you see, that's another weird random thread, isn't it? The whole Willem Dafoe thing.
It's an action star who's
decided he's going to be a cop because he played a cop.
Yeah.
Sure.
And another joke that just kept happening. Just every time he appeared on screen, just a second later, his assistant would appear and give him a coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, a fucking great time.
Yeah, lots of fun.
I will.
A lot of fun.
We'll definitely be watching it again before the end of the year. When it comes out, it'll be a nice kind of, it'll arrive around about sort of Christmassy time to be able to watch. And yeah,
we won't get it in time for Halloween, will we?
no. I mean,
Maybe. I mean, like premium VOD, I could see dropping like
there's a
end of
possibility,
October.
Yeah. I could see him maybe doing that. Just going, do you know what? It's made its nut. Let's go for it. It'll make an absolute fortune if we release this Halloween premium VOD.
Yeah. And I mean, fair play as well. Like $110 million opening weekend in the US. Like that's good on it.
And the other bit I will say is that people never take into account is the sheer amount of fucking merch this film is shifting is insane.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, your boots on the ground with that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
We've got so there is a kids range.
Yeah.
They've also tied in because of the Wednesday season 2 or 3 or whatever it is. The next season of Wednesday is coming out soon, so they've kind of tied those both in together. So you've got a kids range, a men's range, a women's range, a beauty range, and a PJ's range of Beetlejuice. And so we've got in ours, we've got a Beetlejuice snuddy, some Beetlejuice boyfriend pajamas, some old school Beetlejuice pajamas that have the old original Beetlejuice poster on them. And then there's like all sorts of other stuff, and it has fucking flown out.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, actually, yeah. Just
Which
as a side,
I'm not meaning that in a mean way. I mean that in a cool way. It's decent stuff, and people have literally come in, and there's been people who have bought all of it.
yeah. On a slight side note, any listeners out there that have got kids that are considering taking them to see this movie, please just make sure they actually want to see it. Because our screening was full of kids that just did not give the slightest shit and just spent the entire movie running up and down the aisle.
I think that was a group of kids that had come in on their own. I don't think they were kids with parents.
I don't think they would have been old enough to get in on
I think they probably just would have been, to be fair.
Well, they acted like dickheads.
They did act like dickheads. But
Yeah. I mean that's an interesting point. I mean there were quite a few kids in my showing. I mean, like, to be fair, I really was pretty well behaved, but I'm a little bit surprised by that, if I'm honest. It definitely 12 is fine, but I thought there were a couple of moments that are pushing things a bit.
you said that, didn't you, Bex?
Like the baby.
Yeah, the baby was terrifying.
Some drill train spotting vibes with that fucking baby.
Yeah, no, and I mean there is a kind of a comic tone to it, which I think kind of does nullify it. But Jenna Ortega giving birth to a Beetlejuice baby at the end—that's kind of full on.
Yeah, it was.
There's a few bits though that are pushing it a bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
The what is it, baby was weird though. Yeah, that was real weird.
Look, yeah, definitely not shit. I was like really, really, really happy with it overall. Gotta say.
Yeah, definitely not shit. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely not shit. Looking forward to double billing it actually, because we didn't watch the original in advance of this, just because A, we've seen it a billion times, and B, there's always that risk that if it is slightly weaker, you're going to make it feel way weaker by comparison.
Yeah.
If you watch the original, and given the fact that it's not. I think it would be safe to watch the double bill, possibly even a triple bill, The Frighteners. I think tonally that would be a real great kind of trilogy.
Audience poll: definitely not shit 50%, touching cloth 25%, and shit 25%.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay. Bit harsh. Right, I'll tell you what. Let's. This might be pretty quick. What else have we been up to, guys?
Are we doing that before we do?
We'll do that. Yeah.
Cool. What have you been watching, Bex? You watched anything on the Solo? Because I have 2 on the Solo.
Yeah, I do. I watched Mother's Instinct.
Oh yeah, how's that?
So you know how the trailer makes out like it's really tense and quite sort of keeps you on the edge of your seat and what's going on and all this kind of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it does not do that. on a larger scale, it is an absolute waste of time.
Is that good?
It's just fucking boring. It's dull. It doesn't hold any tension at all. Everything's wrapped up too quickly.
Oh.
So it's like there's no bit where it's stringing you along and you're thinking, oh my god, is Anne Hathaway doing this thing or is she just paranoid? I mean, there is, but it's like 5 minutes, and then it just kind of goes. Well, it just comes to its conclusion, and it's like, oh, okay then.
There's a really weird thing on the Wikipedia for this. So it just like before it goes to the plot, it has like that it's a 2024 American psychological film starring blah 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 blah. And it says Mother's Instinct was released in Lithuania on March 8, 2024, and was released in the US on July 26, 2024. All right, Lithuania.
Cool. Well done, Lithuania.
Good
on you.
Yeah, I can't recommend it.
I will not add that to my list.
Yeah, don't. It's just fucking boring. I also watched Before I Go to Sleep with Nicole Kidman and and Mark Strong.
Yes.
Oh
yeah, you just.
So I recommended this, and you went, "No, I fucking hate Groundhog Day type movies. Fucking no."
Yeah.
So I just watched it on my own. It's basically.
I think I said I'm done with Groundhog Day movies.
Yeah, it's really good. It's actually, I really really enjoyed this. I don't know what the wider world thinks of it because I've not read any reviews or anything like that. But it's actually it's a really intriguing premise. So basically, Nicole Kidman loses her memory every night when she goes to sleep. Like, and don't get me wrong, the plot doesn't really hold together if you pick at it too much. Just fucking go with it. But yeah, so she loses her memory every night when she goes to sleep. But she's been keeping a video diary at her doctor's recommendation. And he rings her every morning and he tells her to go find the video in the bottom of her wardrobe and watch it, and then she kind of catches herself up through these videos on what is going on because she's suspicious that something isn't quite right. So the movie is basically her unravelling whilst having no memory what the fuck has gone on in her life, and it's twisty. It's basically if a movie was a book that you'd read around the pool.
Right. Which I think it probably is.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But it's really, do you know what, it's really good. It's, yeah, 50 First Dates?
Yes.
So it's like that if it was really fucking dark.
Fair, because 50 First Dates is not a dark movie.
No, but this is like this is the darkest timeline version of 50 First Dates.
Yeah.
But it's really fucking good. If you want just some fucking trash to watch on a weekday night, I cannot recommend this enough.
I might watch that one rather than Mother's Instinct.
Yeah, don't watch Mother's Instinct. Fucking save yourself. I watched it so you guys don't have to.
I mean, just Anne Hathaway and Jessica Chastain being passive aggressive to each other was kind of like a jam, but is it not that?
No.
Yeah. Less inclined then.
No. Jessica Chastain's just a bit fucking pathetic in it. And Anne Hathaway's just a bit fucking pathetic in it. Everyone's just a bit fucking pathetic.
Is it real wheat tea?
It's fucking shit.
Real milky tea?
Yeah. Yeah, made by your fucking nan. And she's made you some toast as well, and you could basically...
Is it like that toaster that I showed you,
yeah,
that Mitsubishi toaster?
Yeah.
Like shit.
No char.
No char to it.
Yeah, Mother's Instinct, no char, Becky Foster. So yeah, I know we're going back a little bit on this one.
Yeah.
Please don't watch Mother's Instinct.
I'm not gonna.
Do watch Before I Go to Sleep.
Probably still won't.
So, yeah, you probably won't. And then another thing that I recommended to both of you guys the other week, and I forgot to talk about it on the last one because I hadn't been able to log it on Letterboxd because it's not real. But now it is real, so I've logged it on Letterboxd so I can remember it. Did either of you watch the link that I showed you, that Milk and Cereal?
No.
No, not yet.
Are you likely to?
You can crack on.
No, because I'd really like to speak to you guys about it.
I will watch it.
It's only an hour long, isn't it?
Yeah, it's real short.
Yeah, I can do that. All right,
okay,
fine.
Can we talk about that next week?
Sure.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's it. That's me.
Right, I've only got Dose.
Dose.
That I watched myself.
Okay.
So I watched Next of Kin, the Patrick Swayze, Bill Paxton and Liam Neeson, a Hillbilly Brothers movie. So Patrick Swayze plays the one that has kind of got away from the hills, the literal hills. And
Has he got away from the Billies?
He's got down. Yeah, got away from the Billies. He's gone down to the big city, the big windy Chicago, and he's become a cop there. And his brother is also in Chicago, played by Bill Paxton, his younger brother. And he fills up vending machines, and he's just earning enough money so he can get a coal truck up in the hills, and he can go back to being a hillbilly because he don't like the city. But what would you have it? Some mob folks end up killing him when they try to rob his cigarette truck. So you've then got Patrick Swayze as the cop trying to, take him down legally, and then you've got Liam Neeson as the older hillbilly brother wanting to dish out some good old fucking hillbilly justice. Yeah, these fucking worlds, they fucking collide.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, it's alright. Very 80s. Very 80s.
Love that for you.
Real 80s. It's just a lot of people standing around and saying things.
In very 80s, it's kind of just your vibe, though, isn't it?
It's a good
old shite movies you try and get me to watch.
It was a good lunchtime watch.
Yeah.
It is what I will say. But yeah, there's a great kind of like plot of Ben Stiller plays the mob boss's like son, and he's trying to get him involved in the business, and he's been a bit sort of slimy around and been a bit pathetic, and then he literally just gets killed off screen, and the next thing you see he's like a charred corpse.
Nice.
It's almost like the director just went, I am fucking sick of working with this guy. What can we do? Charred corpse.
Love it.
I enjoyed it enough. It was a good lunchtime watch.
God.
And what? And I also watched Double Impact, the Jean-Claude Van Damme classic.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I did.
Marcus, you've explained the plot to this
What?
movie about 5 times to me since watching it 2 days ago, haven't you?
Yes, I have. What's it about, Becky?
It's about 2 twins and they get separated at birth, and one of them's grown up wealthy and one of them's grown up on the streets.
Yeah, streets of Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And the other one grew up in France, but it's not. None of it is actually in France. It's in LA, and he runs a yoga studio / karate studio.
Wow.
And then they have to go back to Hong Kong to claim their birthright,
Yeah.
which is a tunnel. It's apparently worth loads of money. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's also got Jeffrey Lewis of Spawning Juliette Lewis in it. And
Spawning. Fucking
Yeah, that's a horrible turn of phrase.
I mean, I think it's pretty accurate for Juliette Lewis.
Can you leave Juliette Lewis?
I'm not saying
alone?
there's anything wrong with that. There's anything wrong with the Juliette Lewis thing, but I think it's accurate.
Yeah, there must have been some kind of weird supernatural circumstances surrounding her.
He got struck by lightning whilst fucking a witch.
For fuck's sake.
And Bolo Young's in there as well, as like the fucking the badass hench guy of the bad dudes. But there's a great. I mean, it's a fun movie, Double Impact. I will state that. But Bolo Young has this. I mean, he has a very interesting screen presence for a start off, and he has a very interesting face. So for anyone who's not seen Double Impact, he's the big guy that he has to fight in Bloodsport. It's the same guy.
How bold of you to assume that people have watched Bloodsport.
People have seen Bloodsport. So he's in this. There's a bit where, of course, because they're brothers, Chad and Alex, but nobody knows that they're brothers, right? People keep on confusing Chad for Alex in Hong Kong.
Right.
So he gets taken off by Raymond Zhang, who's the one of the bad guys. And then Bolo Young has to basically just kind of teach him a bit of a lesson. But he does it in just this incredibly fucking dismissive way, where he's kind of giving him a little bit of a beating, and then he's holding them in a shipping container with the doors up, and the rest of all the hench people are all just sort of stood there. And he's just smashing him against the side of it by holding on to him, not even looking at him, looking like it's taking zero effort, and just almost like like he's waiting for his dog to come back after he's just whistled him and he's tired. Honest, it's the most dismissive fucking thing I think I've ever seen in cinema. It is wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah. I had a great time with it. It's a fun movie. I used to have it on VHS. Not only that, I used to have an ex-rental copy of VHS.
Yeah.
So it was in a bigger video cassette for some reason, and the cassette was red. Yeah. Great time watching Double Impact. We also had a great time watching Double Jeopardy, didn't we, Becky?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous concept for a movie.
Fucking 4K
Obviously,
on.
we've watched it a million times.
4K on our iTunes as well.
Do we really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And we don't need to go over Double Jeopardy again because we've actually spoken about it before.
Probably a couple of times.
Yeah. Ashley Judd gets convicted of killing her husband, only she hasn't killed him. He's still alive. He's just assumed a different identity. And then she finds out that now, because she can't be convicted twice of killing her husband, she can fucking kill him again because of Double Jeopardy.
Double Jeopardy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful concept for a movie.
It's dumb as a post.
Absolutely dumb as a post.
Yeah.
But
I love it.
it's so much fun.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's really good. Like, it's really, really good and intriguing and everything, and like just we're having a lovely time with it. And then it's like a key change in a movie.
Yeah.
They go to fucking New Orleans,
And it just goes off
and
the
it
scale.
goes, yeah. Fucking love it.
Bruce Greenwood plays a character where he can't remember, and I think it's part of the character, he can't remember when he needs to put his accent on. So he sometimes puts it on and sometimes doesn't. And it's not even like when he's like speaking at certain bits he has it on. He just like literally like he'll say one sentence and he'll have the accent and the next one he won't. So it feels like a choice, but it's still quite funny. And Tommy Lee Jones just Tommy Lee Jonesing it.
Yeah, he's very Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah,
Isn't he?
just wandering around,
Being Tommy Lee
just
Jones.
being Tommy Lee Jones. What a time. And we also watched Sleeping with the Enemy, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know where
Don't
all
know,
the
it's-
connective
no.
tissue is with this one, but wanted something thrillery, didn't we?
Yeah. So we watched Sleeping with the Enemy.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this actually,
Not sure why it's called Sleeping with the Enemy.
because for that whole like 2 years or whatever it is, she says, like, she makes it sound like she's been tortured for like the majority of her life, and it's like, oh, I've been married for like 2 years.
I mean, there was one thing that really annoyed me about this movie.
Go on.
I enjoyed this movie. The weird mullet of that guy aside.
Which guy?
Ben.
I mean, he doesn't have a mullet. He's just got
The new
he's just got curly hair.
It's a mullet, mate.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
There's no business in the film.
You've got this
Called
thing
Pie.
where the thing that gets her caught by the crazy ex-husband is she goes to see her mother in the retirement home that she's in. Isn't she? Her mother's blind. Her mother looks like she's 700 years old, right? She does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really annoyed you for some reason.
She looks like she was 2 years above God at school. Right? And Julia Roberts is clearly supposed to be in her at the most late 20s. So that woman must have been in her like late 50s when she had that. Just make it a grandmother.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be her mother. It just makes it weird when she goes there and you're like, the fucking fuck? But yeah, it's a fun movie. I enjoyed Sleeping with the Enemy.
Okay, so Julia Roberts was 24.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
What?
Hang on.
She's like 68, isn't she? Are you trying to work out how old? It's taken way too long.
She was 69
She was
years
69.
old.
Yeah, she looked rough for 69, didn't she?
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah. No, you're.
She was born in 1922.
Yeah. She'd be 102 years old now.
Just like the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah. Except now, if she was 102 years old, I would still believe that they were lying about her age. That
Yeah.
woman looked so old. But yeah, I had a good time watching the movie. It's fun. It's got a banging score by Jerry Goldsmith as well.
Nice.
Yeah. No, it's really good. And I explained to you, didn't I? I always get confused because I read Sleeping with the Enemy.
Yeah.
And I read the Stephen King book called Rose Madder.
Yeah.
Around about the same time. No, not simultaneously, you fuckwit. But they're about very similar things. So, like, Rose Madder's like a supernatural version of Sleeping with the Enemy, essentially. So I always get really confused as to what happens in which. And there is no bull in this one.
No,
No.
there isn't.
That chases around a
No.
maze that's in a painting.
That's weird.
It's a weird book.
What have you been watching, Ian?
So interesting. Yeah. I mean, I've only got the one thing that like film that I watched. We finished season 2 of The Bear. We're into season 3 now. A lot of people criticizing the first episode of season 3. Maybe understand why, but I don't care. I thought it was great. Just like a mood piece, basically. It was cracking. Like so many different ways of telling a story that show does. It's good. Also say as well, Lottie and I have been playing Astrobot on the PlayStation 5, which is the PlayStation's only first party game for like the autumn and winter, which is weird. They don't know what's going on there, but and it's basically, it seems like it's going to be the game of the year.
Is that the same guy from like the Get to Know Your PlayStation thing?
Yeah. Astro's Playroom. Yeah, they've expanded it out and done a full priced like version of it. So it's all full of like PlayStation iconography again, and but it's very like, it's got some good nostalgia stuff, and also just the stuff they do with the controller, like they did with like Astro's Playroom, like it's ace. Like it feels great playing Astrobot. Like it feels really satisfying on the controller. So yeah, Lots and I have been having a good bit of fun with that, and she took it around friends on Friday night while we were at the cinema, and they had a good time. And yeah, I'm gonna platinum that fucker. It's very, very charming and very good.
Nice.
What's not charming and not very good is a film that I mentioned in our WhatsApp chat yesterday about how if you don't have the sound on, it could be one of cinema's great achievements. With the sound on, it's fucking awful.
I'm really interested to know what film this is. Like, I'm interested to know on the podcast what film this is, to the point of where I've avoided kind of going on Letterboxd in case
I haven't put it on Letterboxd because I didn't want to. Yeah, just in case you went on there. So I blind bought the 4K of Francis Ford Coppola's One from the Heart.
Oh. Right, yeah.
So, I watched the new reprise version. So I've got no idea what the differences are.
It's not a lot, I don't think. I think there's actually less in it.
Yeah, I mean the film is barely over an hour and a half long, which is wild. So this is the one that he spent a shitload of money, like Zoetrope Studios. They basically built a part of the Las Vegas Strip in a studio. And man, like the direction and the choreography and whatnot is ace. It's so cinematic. But the story is fucking awful. And it's not a musical because the leads don't really do any singing. But you've got Tom Waits and a woman like singing through it, and it just, what the fuck was Coppola thinking? Like, okay, I'm gonna make this like musical tinged thing financed with money that I'm gonna finance it myself, essentially build this studio, like, and you've got Terry Garr and Frederick Forrest playing a couple who just need to break up basically from the start. They then proceed to have dalliances with other people, and then, spoiler alert for One from the Heart, right at the end they just get back together, basically because I don't know why, because they just like love hating life. Like, they're so incompatible. They've got no chemistry whatsoever. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like, there's no character depth whatsoever. I think Terry Garr's pretty fucking miscast.
Raul Julia, I remember being really funny in it.
Yeah, he's charismatic, and like at the end, I'm like, yeah, she should totally go off with him. He's not perfect, and he's like, he says he's a singer, and it turns out he's just a waiter with aspirations. But man, it'd be a better time than Frederick Forrest, Will Terry. I tell you, like, please, for the love of God, go with Raul Julia. And then she just like comes back to Frederick Forrest at the end. I don't get why Coppola thought people would want to watch this. I mean, like, aside from it, I mean, like I say, it looks amazing, and you know, Tom Waits gravel voicing through songs. You know, if you're into that, then great. But why would he think that like a mainstream audience would want to watch that? It is a man completely high on his own supply, you know, knowing that he did The Godfather and Apocalypse Now, and people doubted him, like that first Megalopolis trailer said. You know, people didn't. But this is a bad film. It's a bad film, and I'm looking forward to getting the fucking thing on eBay.
I have not watched it for a good amount of years, but I remember being a bit like, similar to what you were saying there, going, this is it looks great, it should be great, why is it not very good?
I genuinely don't get what made him think that people would want to watch this story.
The weird thing is, it's one of the ones where it's an odd one, because it's in the middle of, you've got Godfather Conversation, Godfather Part 2, Apocalypse Now, and then if you take out One from the Heart and just have Outsiders and Rumblefish, and then I think you could even throw in Cotton Club there, you've got just an incredible run, and then just this weird little outlier that's there. Because Outsiders and Rumblefish are kind of like underrated Coppolas, I think, because everything gets swallowed up by Godfather Conversation, Godfather Part 2, and Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. I don't know. It was... God, I'm so glad it was only an hour and a half long. I'm so glad. But yeah, anyway, One from the Heart. Never watch that fucking thing again. But it looks ace. Like, it just, some of the shot composition fucking rules. Anyway, yeah, there we go. That's me. So, let's talk some Rebel Ridge, shall we?
Let's fucking go.
Yes, so this is written and directed by Jeremy Saulnier. Stars Aaron Pierre, Anna Sophia Robb, which is wild. The kid from fucking Bridge to Terabithia now playing, like late 20s, early 30s
Yep.
county clerk person. Like, it just, time, dude, time.
She's 30 years old. It's so weird.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. And Don Johnson and others. So, an ex-Marine grapples his way through a web of small-town corruption when an attempt to post bail for his cousin escalates into a violent standoff with the local police chief. Mark, gonna pose a question on this one.
Go on.
Did you like the film more when it was being First Blood or when it wasn't being First Blood?
I think I would say I liked them very evenly. Probably a little bit more when it was being First Blood, I would say.
Yeah.
There. I think Jeremy Saulnier manages to land the whole film, but it does have a genuine, I would say, the last 50 minutes of it, because I was surprised that it was over 2 hours long. And don't get me wrong, I actually think it is fine that it's been as long as it is. But there was a moment where we had to pause it, didn't we? To do something. I don't like quickly, it wasn't like we had to go anywhere or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, there's still like an hour left nearly in this. Not in like a bad way, but I was a bit like, I'm really intrigued as to what else is going into this. Turned out a lot. But it's, it definitely taking huge cues from First Blood, but also as well kind of expanding naturally out on it for if these things were in a more modern time.
Yeah.
You know, I think that the part of the premise around it and the corruption that around it, Jeremy Saulnier took from an actual story that was happening.
Yeah.
There. So he's lifted that directly up and has basically been said, yeah, it happened. I legally am not allowed to say where. Like, do not fucking ask me the question because I cannot answer it. But yeah, I mean, we'll get more into it. But Aaron Pierre is, if there's any justice in the world, is going to be an absolute fucking megastar because that man has a fucking presence.
Yep, for sure. Beck, sports?
I mean, I think I probably liked it less than Mark did. It's fine. It's good. It's a decent enough watch, but it's not not necessarily the kind of movie I would naturally gravitate towards.
Oh, good.
A pale imitation of a film that it's trying to ape that's better.
I think this is very much Mark Nip, though, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, it's fine. I really like Don Johnson in it. I thought he was a suitably dickhead.
Plays this character so well.
Yeah, he does, yeah. It didn't... Do you know what? Right. I know it's unrealistic and people don't necessarily just go around killing people for revenge in real life. But I just really wanted to see him kill some of these fucking cunts. And he doesn't. He's just real restrained. And that was boring to me. I wanted more violence.
John Rambo doesn't kill anybody in the first film.
I don't care.
Just saying.
Kills loads of people in the rest of them.
Well, maybe in Rebel Ridge 2 he'll do that.
He literally gets his cousin killed.
Yeah.
This guy being a dickhead. He steals $36,000 off him. You know, no one steals $36,000 off John Jay, do they?
I don't think he has $36,000.
Well, exactly. And maybe, if he did, then he would have killed someone.
He's not motivated by money, John Jay.
I think John Jay would be upset if they killed his cousin.
Yeah, but he'd have killed them all.
Yeah. So, I'm just saying, this man had ample motivation to get a bit murdery, and he doesn't, and that pissed me off. Especially that one guy. We all know which one guy we're on about. That fucking one guy. He deserved to die.
Oh, what, like, kind of like Don Johnson's, like, right-hand man guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, real dickhead.
Yeah. I want to make him a real person and then kill him.
Wow. Fair.
What did you make?
Yeah, no, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I think it does just about stick the landing, but it's 2 hours, 10 minutes. There's some kind of investigaty kind of stuff, like that sequence where they're like kind of back in the catacombs and then like the place goes on fire, where it was a bit like, I kind of could maybe do with skipping this. Thanks very much. Let's get to the fucking monkey. Like the fact that it kind of like expands out and it's like a bigger conspiracy. I get it. Kind of would have been cool if it was just a lower key personal revenge story instead of a conspiracy. Like it feels a bit like Cold in July in that way. It's like that film starts off as a very personal story, and then by the end, there's like a big conspiracy they're kind of nailing down there as well. But yeah, I mean, Aaron Pierre is fantastic. I thought the film did a couple of good, like, smart choices. Like, when he thinks that woman was, like, the Serpico. And I was just like, okay, that feels fucking obvious.
Yeah,
and then
felt too obvious, didn't it? Which made you then go... And I don't think I think the film, Jeremy Saulnier is a smart enough filmmaker to go, I know the audience knows it's probably not her.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. When it then turns out it's not her, it's like, okay, fair play. But then at the same time, at the end, where it's suddenly all the cops turn on Don Johnson, I don't buy it. I mean, like, I assume it's because Don Johnson's now basically, like, killed one of their own, but...
It's because... because I was a bit like, hang on a minute, and then I figured it out. Don Johnson asks her to call it in, and she says, why? And he says, because we need to get there first.
Yeah.
I think that she's called it in, but hasn't called it in against against Terry. I think he's called it in and said that he's gone rogue. So she's called in what's actually happened rather than what is it? Which I think is a bit of a whiplash in the fact that she's almost kind of implicated herself a little bit there.
It's that it's too much of a stretch for me.
Yeah,
then suddenly it's like, oh, what's a blah blah blah, and it's like it's an escort.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, I think that is the. I can see. I think it just about gets away with it, but it also knocks half a star off for me.
Yeah. It felt like a note from Netflix of like, you can't have. It's almost like you can't have Middle America watch a film where an entire police force, apart from one guy, is corrupt. You need to make, because by the end it's like, all right, Don Johnson's like the wrong'un then. And it's no, they're all complicit. They all knew what was going on to one degree or another. They're like, everybody knew there was dodginess going on there.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like, but everything up until Anna Sophia Robb getting drugged, I was like, this is a 5-star banger. This is kicking ass. And then it loses it a bit, but not enough for me to go like I was like disappointed by it. Like, I think after like Hold the Dark was not great, I think Jeremy Saulnier's back now, and I'm looking forward to what he does next. But I hope it's not with Netflix, because I want to see it in a cinema. I would have loved to have watched this in a cinema.
Watch this in the cinema, yeah, because he's he's such an interesting filmmaker. It just seems like it's almost a little bit like of all like the upcoming filmmakers that were out there that were going to be big genre filmmakers, the one who was most kind of hampered by what's gone on in the past sort of like 5 years has kind of been him. In a way, because like I remember after he did Green Room, which is like 9 years ago, so it is quite a while ago. Him basically saying, "I did Green Room because it was probably the only time, if things go the way I hope they will go, it's probably the only time I'll get to make that movie. Because if I'm making what would be perceived bigger movies or movies that get a wider scope, making a movie about Nazis is not the way to go. It's a bad idea." And then, yeah, like you say, Hold the Dark was just a little bit... It was really insular. It was good, and I kind of feel like I need to go back and rewatch it again. But it felt like a watch. Like a real tough watch. And I don't mean like in a like Green Room's a tough watch because it's just it's unpleasant to watch, and Blue Ruin is just, I mean, it's fantastic, but again it's quite an uncompromising watch. Hold the Dark, I remember thinking that's a good movie, but I don't know whether I've got the interest to go back again. But I kind of want to now. But he didn't write that one. I think that one was just Macon Blair that wrote that one. Yeah, it was. Yeah. So yeah, he's such a good filmmaker in terms of building tension, but also having little bits that kind of break the tension within it as well. So there are little fun bits within it, and I need to go up against in literally like standing in front of Don Johnson and being able to pull those bits off. I mean, the scene where he's just stood outside and they're trying to run like what this guy did, and they're thinking that he was like a fucking mechanic or something like that.
Oh, that's great.
And they have to run out and go, "Get away from him! Don't get too close." Him taking the Don Johnson and the fucking douchebag down and just sort of bouncing from one to the other, and then just at the same time just dismantling the guns and just doing it so fucking easily. But also in the really fun thing of her going, "He's on the Wikipedia page for it." like going, "Oh my god, in the description for what this is, he's it."
Yeah.
Like, it's a wonderful, he's the dictionary definition of what this acronym is.
It's like, as soon as it's like, oh, there's a problem with the Wi-Fi, it was like, oh, what are they going to find out? What are they going to find out?
And you think it's badass.
And just the whole kind of like, it's like MC map, and they're like, oh, he must be some sort of navigator or something. It's like, oh, he's not a navigator. It's great.
Yeah, and Aaron Pierre plays it so fucking beautifully as well. He's got that, when he stood there, he's got that absolute confidence of not I think that I've got the upper hand on you. It's just everything that's about to happen, I've already worked out when it's going to happen and what's going to happen. So when you're reacting to stuff, I already know what you're going to do. I'm just going to do this, this, and this, and he just keeps bouncing around doing it, and it's fucking great. And then you've got the bit where, even the bit at the end bit with the guy who's been shot, and the guy's saying to him, he's like, "Right, who are these guys?" And he's like, "Most of them have got families and stuff." And he's like, "Oh," he's like, "I can't kill them." So he's just bouncing around trying to actively not to kill them. It's just a nice little touch. I know that we'd like him to have killed that guy, and I agree. But I also think that to have the restraint as a filmmaker to go, "No, he's not. I need to keep this guy, like, essentially at all points he needs to be the good guy. For that, it's also does kind of it tracks really well. He's fucking brilliant. This should have been in cinemas. It should have been released in January, so we could all be going, "Ooh, is he getting nominated?" I know it never would happen, but it's just this is the thing that I have about awards things. They're fun and everything like that, but I doubt I'm going to see a performance this year from anybody that is as magnetic as that.
Yeah, agreed.
He's fucking. I'm like, what's you going? And the guy's from fucking Brixton.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's got the American thing of the fact that you just wouldn't doubt it. He doesn't have a pronounced American accent.
No.
You're not going to go, oh, look, he's got a New York accent, a Boston accent. He's just got an accent. It just flows really well. But yeah, like you said, I'm already in the camp for Jeremy Sawyer, but I hope that it's something that we can see at a cinema, and that because I would have fucking loved this at the cinema. It'll have been great.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be gobsmacked if this isn't in my top 10 of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Made me want to rewatch Brawl at Cell Block 39, is it?
Yeah.
See, I'm forgetting. Brawl in Cell Block 99, yeah. The S. Craig Zala movie. Because Don Johnson's in that, again, playing a similar type of character as in this. I mean, that's a lot more brutal because it's a S. Craig Zala movie. That guy should make more movies. Really interested that the next Ridley Scott film is a film that was written by Craig Zala. That's wild. That's going to be fun. But yeah. Like I say, emphatically
he's
getting
the
that
dragged
shit.
across concrete man, isn't he?
Yes, and Bone Tomahawk.
I wouldn't mind rewatching because I love Bone Tomahawk. I think it's really good, but you're not so keen.
I know I really like Bone Tomahawk. It's just it's not a pleasant watch. I mean, a man literally gets cut in half. Not even cut, hacked in half.
I really liked that, but then I didn't like Brawl or Dragged.
Well, you're right.
Whereas you like both of them,
Yeah.
and a bit cooler on Bone Tomahawk.
I'm guessing we're all definitely not shit on Rebel Ridge.
Yeah, definitely not sure.
Yeah, because our audience is
for
also
sure.
100% definitely not shit.
Whee.
My feeling there would be if you watch Rebel Ridge and you go, that was a bit shit. My next question for you after that would be, why did you watch Rebel Ridge? Like, if you thought that was shit, why were you watching it in the first place?
Why?
Because it does exactly everything it says on the tin,
Yeah.
and it's proper grown-up filmmaking.
Fair dues.
Great stuff. Twitter questions.
We have Insta questions now.
Oh,
Didn't
Insta
even
questions.
post
My
it
bad.
on
Good.
WhatsApp like last week.
Yeah, fuck you, Twitter.
Good.
Zombie
Good.
Vish, just saw Killer's Mission, 70s samurai flick with banging score. Any scores surprisingly good recently?
Oh fuck! I thought I had one actually.
Right, let me have a quick look and see what I've seen recently, because there was something that I watched recently was like, this score's fucking beautiful. I mean, Double Impact, the score is pretty banging, but, you know. What was it? Oh, I actually quite like the score for Alien Romulus. Sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, fuck.
I mean, the Blair brothers doing the score for Rebel Ridge was pretty decent as well, to be fair.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
They should do more.
I don't know what it was. I'm having a look at my letterbox. I can't think what it was.
Any that stood out for you, Bex?
No, I'm the worst person to answer this because I don't notice them all.
Score
I
for,
notice them if they're bad, but I don't notice them.
Score for Sleeping the Enemy's good. Nice Jerry Goldsmith score. That was tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have another question if we want to
Yeah,
move
I
on.
don't know what it was. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
So this is from Dylan Black. Sorry, from Dylan Richards. Sorry, just automatically doing the Twitter handles there. Now that you're out on Twitter so much, how do you find keeping up with movie news? And our film Insta, Film Blue Sky are full of wild takes as film Twitter. I don't really personally see that much film Insta there.
No.
And I don't use Blue Sky. I go old school for my movie news and just check out like Deadline and things like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I've started.
And that's kind of how I've always kind of done it. Like not like always past sort of like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
That there for that, just because I find it. I don't like the idea that the news that I'm getting is being curated to me. When I can literally just log onto a website and have a look myself.
It's like Apple News is horrific for curation.
Oh, it's
like
terrible.
It's really, really bad.
Apple News is to the point of where even though on my settings I have it saved to say that I follow Liverpool FC, it is obsessed with sending me stuff about Aston Villa and Manchester United constantly. And I'm like,
Yeah, there's a lot of sweet like tarring with the same brush about a topic, and it's like you get the topic but not the specific part about the topic you actually want.
Yeah.
I
mean, it doesn't think I'm obsessed with Amanda Holden anymore,
That's good.
which is quite nice.
That is good.
Yeah. Although it does keep trying to get me to read things about someone Fury and a girl that has 3 names.
I want to take a punt and say Molly May Hague.
Why not? Don't know who she is. I've never read a story about it. Not fucking interested. Yet my Apple News is like, hey, did you know this? No, don't need to know it. Go away.
The only things I know about her are she's married to or engaged to or in a relationship with a Fury.
Apparently they're not anymore according to my Apple News.
And she had a line with like Pretty Little Thing or ASOS or Boohoo or one of them. And she made some kind of comments about people being lazy, but her line uses like slave labour to make it. Yeah. That's the only things I know about her.
But yeah, but I tend to have to get my news back literally just going to news. Or to be honest, like Ian, George, Noel, like messaging stuff in our group chat.
Yeah.
And saying stuff about that. And I'm like,
That's true.
I missed that. I got that from there. I probably that's probably where I get the majority of my news from, is stuff like that.
I actually, like, I miss, initially when I left Twitter, because I left, like, ages ago, I really missed it and I felt really out of the loop. And then I've kind of gradually gone back to where I would have got it from in the olden days, like you say, from, like, set places. But, like, if I go, for example, if I go on the Bloody Disgusting website, I don't get just shown the articles that they think based on what I've read previously that I'd be interested in reading. It's just all there.
Yeah.
So you get away from the algorithm and you see stuff that you wouldn't necessarily have seen.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to be like that.
Definitely.
And I think getting like that, it's actually meant that I've actually started reading more articles. Whereas before I'd just read like the headline a little bit, and then if I wasn't that interested, I wouldn't bother reading the thing. Whereas, and then I wouldn't have an informed opinion on it. Whereas now I'm going in and actually reading the articles a lot. I'm going on Twitter and to read the articles.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think, like, not to get into it too much, but I think it is dangerous the way things are going at the moment. You read what you're shown to read, which is based on an algorithm to show you things that you're already going to like. It never challenges your opinion. You never see anything that's going to surprise you. And you just end up this really narrow person.
I haven't opened Twitter in like a good few days. But I can't remember the last time I did open Twitter, and I don't follow this guy and have never followed this guy. I can't remember the last time I opened Twitter and the first thing I didn't see was the last tweet that Elon Musk put out. Because it defers you to the For You page rather than the following page, and he's always the top of your page. And like, well, I don't comment on anything. No, that is him forcing himself upon me.
Yeah.
In his way. So I just like don't bother now. And do you know what? Don't miss anything of it.
No.
It's not. I'm not like going, oh, can I miss it? I'm like, it's kind of fine.
Like I said, I did initially, like there was a certain amount of FOMO because I think there was something going on at the time. Some big political shit that could be anything in this country over the last sort of however many years, but everything's kind of calmer now. But there was something going on, and I was like, you'd mention, oh, did you see blah blah blah, and I'd be like, no, where did you see it? Twitter. And it's like, for fuck's sake, I'm missing out on news stuff as well as like bullshit right wing argumentative stuff. Like I'm missing that because I want to get away from that, and that's not really fair. But everyone seems to have kind of gradually gone, yeah, it's not worth it.
yeah. No.
And I'll go on the BBC website and I'll read the news, or the Sky News website, or the Guardian website, or whatever. I'll just specifically go to the venues whose tweets I would have previously looked for.
But yeah, I'd say like there's a few websites I go on that are good, and get it from there. It eventually comes to you anyway.
Yep.
Yep. What are we covering next week, Ian?
Okay. What are we covering next week?
Oh no, actually.
I think Speak No Evil.
Ooh, is that out?
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else out, or is it just that?
Just a quick, like, a little aside.
Sure.
A mild little tangent. So, Twisters has become the highest grossing 4DX movie of all time.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty cool. The fact that they've re-released it on 4DX, and 4DX has done big numbers for it, right? I like the fact that Cineworld have then gone, hang on a fucking minute. Could you do a Twister 4DX?
Yeah.
So Twister is coming out on 4DX in a few weeks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit like, there's more twistering in Twister than there is in Twisters.
Yeah.
So we might go and see Twister on 4DX.
What are you going to see tomorrow night, Mark?
And we're at the cinema tomorrow night, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
You forgot, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So did you.
No, I didn't.
What are you saying?
We're seeing Clue.
Really?
Yeah.
At the cinema?
Cinema, yeah.
Cool.
It's one of your favourite movies, isn't it, Bex?
I'm so fucking psyched.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so we're doing Clue tomorrow at the cinema. Yeah, let's have a look. Friday, Saturday. Ooh, yeah. So it must be. Yeah, there's not a lot.
Speak No Evil, it's got a showing on Thursday, so I'm
Right.
assuming it doesn't just have one day and then it's going away.
No. Yeah.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, all the Batman films are on at the moment, aren't they? For some
Why?
reason.
Why?
All of them.
And you two are going to watch Milk and Cereal.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, might have to remind me, but sure.
Yep.
Cool. All right then. That'll be that. Thank you very much for listening, folks. Yeah, probably be a little bit of a gap now because we recorded 2 shows pretty close to each other, but you know we will be back. And thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Thank you very much, Becky.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Jason. I'm looking forward to Saturday night. And I fucking hate it. Fuck you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.